Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite Latina hero, or possibly least favorite Latina hero, which is going to be Sombra. Now, by the title of the video, you might be thinking that this video is just going to be hating on Sombra, saying, oh, she's the worst hero, she sucks, I hate her, and that is not at all going to be the case. Rather, I'm going to be talking about the problems that pertain to Sombra, but also coming up with some possible solutions. But the way that I'm going to be also discussing the issues with Sombra is by backing up it with statistics, because if you guys know anything about me, I love statistics because it kind of gives you a general idea of what's going on with anything, in this case with Overwatch heroes, without necessarily needing to play the hero. Now, just as a disclaimer, I am not at all Sombra main, so I might not even be qualified to make this video. However, I know I can look at the statistics with the win rate, the pick rate, how the hero is built, and kind of come up with a general idea of what is the issue with Sombra. Because when you do go onto Overbuff, you're going to see that on PC, PlayStation, and on Xbox, she is in the top 4 of the least picked heroes. Along with that, she is the worst winning hero across all 3 platforms. Overall, we'll get into more details later on in the video, but there is so much that we need to discuss because, again, that's kind of mind-blowing that if you pick Sombra across all 3 platforms, it doesn't matter, you're more statistically bound to lose. Is it because you suck at Sombra, or is it because there's an issue with Sombra? And I really want to think that there's an issue with Sombra, that this video could come up with a possible solution, but that's where you Sombra mains come into this video and just kind of give me your general take on Sombra if there even is an issue. So the 3 areas that we're going to be covering in this video when it pertains to Sombra are the hero problems, which is just the design of the hero, the game problems, which is the problems that the game has that Sombra doesn't fit, but also the player problems. Whoever picks Sombra, they're facing some problems whenever they play her. So first, let's talk about the hero problem. So a long time ago, we all know that Sombra received a big change. A lot of people would say it's a nerf, and I would probably have to agree, especially with all these statistics saying that she's the least winning hero, but she received a change that allowed her to be invisible for however long she wanted. And that's like alright, because she is a pure backline assassin. A lot of people confuse her to be a pure DPS hero where she's purely just on the field to get kills like a Genji, like a Tracer, and that's not necessarily the case, and especially in Sombra's case, because, well, now with these changes, it's allowing her to go invisible for however long you want, to be able to set up more, to be able to flank around, to be able to pinpoint whichever target that you want to hack or possibly even kill. That means that more players that are playing Sombra are flanking around, trying to set up, trying to just be strategic, trying to decide, okay, when do I go, what do I do? And when you're invisible, you can't change anything in the game. You cannot do anything. So basically, when you're invisible, unless you're utilizing the time to flank around and pick a spot where you know you're going to be able to make a change in the game, you're wasting a DPS spot. That's not your fault. That's literally the hero's fault. That's Sombra's fault, because how she's built is allow you to be able to set up. But that doesn't change a fast-paced game like Overwatch, unless you're going to be able to utilize the ability to flank around and hack someone. Plus, another thing that you need to consider when it comes to Sombra and how she's built is that just because you hack someone doesn't necessarily that you're going to win the fight, because say someone like Genji or something, if you throw shurikens, assuming that you're going to be able to hit heads with it and get a kill, well, it's a one-step process to get a kill. Where Sombra, it's like a 2 or heck, even a 3-step process where you got to throw your translocator, flank around while going invisible, and then the second step is to hack them, then the third step is to either kill them yourself or to hope that your team will bounce on that target that you just hacked. And we will talk about other issues that pertain to that same situation. However, who's to say that the enemy team won't just protect the hero that you just hacked? And at that point, you don't want to stay in there, so you're going to translocate out of there, and it's a rinse and repeat, just kind of wasting time. Whereas if you pick another DPS, well, it's a one-step process to confirm the kill and to confirm the team fight win. So what I'm trying to say here is that Sombra is a hero that invests a lot of time in the setup, where other heroes, it's all about action, kill, dive, quick. Whereas Sombra, it's a little bit more slower. It's a little bit more like, okay, well, let's take our time. Let me go invisible. Let me flank around. Let me hack this here. And that's not at all bad if you are going to utilize the investment that you just invested in, which is the time spent that you could have otherwise just, hey, let's go in and get a freaking kill. No, as Sombra, you're opening the door to allow easier kills. But if you're not going to utilize that time, then yes, you're just wasting it. You're just wasting a DPS spot. But now the next issue I want to talk about are the gameplay issues. Issues that only pertain to the game of Overwatch, but kind of affect Sombra in the long run. Because one thing I always say is that the best way to win team fights in Overwatch is to simply get kills. Does your team ever win a team fight or win the game when all 6 of the enemy team is on the field? No, you get team kills. You remove 3 enemies. Heck, you even just remove 1 enemy, the Zenyatta, the Lucio, the Reinhardt, whatever the case may be. But Sombra doesn't do that. Sombra doesn't go in with the intentions of, I'm going to get a full-on team wipe, I'm going to kill it. No, she doesn't do that. What she does, however, is open the door for easier kills. And this is one thing that your team, your own allied team, will not understand. They don't get it because that's a problem with Overwatch. And especially with the recent kill feed update, it doesn't show who Sombra hacks. It doesn't show who Sombra's focusing. And that's an issue with the game itself. So this is where more problems come up that affect Sombra because, well, she's not going in to try to get a kill. She's going in to flank around and set up for an easier kill for the Winston, for the Genji, for the Pharah, the Diva, whoever can inevitably focus that hacked teammate. But it doesn't show up in the game. It doesn't tell you. Whereas Diva, whenever she eats an ultimate like a Mei or a Zarya ultimate, it shows up in the kill feed. It doesn't show up in the kill feed when Sombra hacks someone. And when your team doesn't see that in a kill feed, and I'll admit, I suffer from this too because it's so clear to be able to see who's doing work. If a Widow gets 3 headshots in a row, it'll show up in the kill feed. It'll show that, hey, we won because the Widow just got 3 headshots. Well, if the Sombra gets 3 hacks, it won't show up in the kill feed. It won't tell us, hey, Sombra's doing work because that's just how Overwatch is built. And that means we're going to be focusing you, blaming you because, well, you're not doing work. But in your eyes, you are doing work, which means that's an Overwatch problem. Which segues perfectly into our next issue, which is the players' problems. Issues that don't pertain to Sombra herself, that don't pertain to the game itself, that pertain to you, that you can easily solve. Because a lot of people will say, well, if Sombra is investing all this time and it doesn't show up in the kill feed when she hacks, why doesn't she just tell her team, hey, I hacked the Zenyatta, jump on the Zenyatta, hey, let's focus this Lucio, focus the Diva. And to that, a few months ago, I would have agreed with you. However, in Season 14, I decided to turn a new leaf because I soon realized there's various different reasons why people, not just Sombra players, but just Overwatch players in general, do not want to talk. They either have social anxiety, they either don't have enough money to be able to afford a mic, they simply just do not want to talk because they're listening to music or they're in a party. And to that, you know, that's just me trying to make an effort to be more understanding for other people's situations. So to that, I'll say that, yeah, they do not have to talk. It's still an issue though. Now, it's not the main issue, okay, but I still will agree that yes, if you simply talk, it relieves a lot of the things that I just discussed simply just by saying, hey, I'm spending this time to flank around, I'm gonna hack the Zenyatta, let's hack the Zenyatta, and the Winston, the Diva, then the Genji goes and focuses that Zenyatta. Whereas if you're not talking, then you're kind of expecting your team to know what you're doing, to magically know what's happening on your screen. Dog, I got 5 million things to worry about. I'm not focused on what you're doing because, again, you can tell me, but I understand why you're not going to tell me. Just don't get mad at me when I'm not diving the Zenyatta or diving the Diva when you hack them just because I wasn't focused on your screen. So while I'm going to be understanding of you, be understanding of me and how I got my own game to worry about, bro. So the 3 main issues that pertain to Sombra is that she has a lot of time invested into the setup portion of getting kills, whereas other DPS, if you have the skill, you don't need to spend all that time. You're good. You're gonna be able to confirm the kill. Where Sombra, it's gonna allow her to get a lot more easier kills. The second issue is that when you're doing work, other people don't realize that. Other people won't see that you're hacking people. Other people won't realize, hey, I just EMP'd all these people, let's do that. Well, with the EMP, at least, it notifies everyone. When it comes to Sombra's hack, it notifies you, and it notifies the person that just got hacked. Nobody else, unless, like, the enemy team hears, hey, the hack is going off. but you're in their enemy backline and your team is at the enemy front line. So that's an issue right there. And the third issue, that is the players' problem, is that they're not communicating with their team. Now, that's not the only issue, but all three of those things make the Powerpuff Girls. No, I'm not going to say it. All three of those issues just make this big stew of issues that pertain to Sombra. So what are the solutions to make Sombra a lot more meta and welcomed of a hero? Because I think that's the issue here, is that a lot of people don't really see the value that Sombra brings to a team composition. I love Sombra. I love it when we have a Sombra that's communicating, that knows what she's doing, because she is the only hero that can do what she does, which is make someone a sitting duck, which is hacking a specific hero that we want out of the game when it comes to their ultimate, which is EMPing multiple heroes so that we can get a clean diva nuke on the field. Well, at least when it comes to the second solution, you know, that being that your team, your own teammates aren't seeing the work that you're putting in, aren't being notified of who you're hacking, can easily be fixed by simply adding a little icon in the kill feed saying Sombra, Sugar Skull icon, Zenyatta. That will tell me, a player that isn't playing Sombra but that is on your team, saying, hey, let's go focus the Zenyatta since he got hacked. That will also allow the enemy team to be able to be notified, hey, let's protect this Zenyatta. That will mean the better team that is better organized and better coordinated will be able to either get the kill or protect that hero from getting killed, because that is what Overwatch, I feel like, is all about. No matter what hero you play, you should be able to win the game because you spent the time learning that specific hero and also spent the time learning the game itself. But when you look for a solution for the first problem, that being that she needs too much time invested into her to set up, a simple solution that might seem counterintuitive is that whenever she goes invisible, just increase her speed. And I say that's counterintuitive because that's what the whole change was all about, is that she was a lot faster while being invisible, but you didn't have unlimited time. Now you do, but we see that it didn't help Sombra at all because she is the lowest winning hero of all time. If you were just to bump up her speed while being invisible, not when she's uninvisible, I don't even think that's a word, while she's being invisible, I don't think that will be too game-changing for the god like Sombra's, but it'll also help a majority of other players that are trying to play Sombra just use her a little bit more effectively because they don't have to spend so much time just trying to run around, set up, try to hack a health pack. No, if they're a little bit more faster, I don't think it'll be too game-changing. It'll make her a lot more effective of a hero. And finding a solution for the third problem, that being that Sombra players aren't really communicating with their team, doesn't necessarily have a solution because that's their choice. But here's one thing I'll say on the topic of, well, Sombra players don't communicate with their team. The higher you get in the ranks, you see a correlation of win rate just skyrocketing for Sombra, because in Diamond, Masters, and especially in GM specifically, they're above the 50% mark. But in GM specifically, Sombra has a win rate of 54% on PC, PlayStation has a 56% win rate, and on Xbox it has a 60% win rate. This could be due to players actually communicating with their teammates, because players in the highest ranks recognize, hey, communication is valuable, so I'm going to talk, which again, it's their choice. It's your choice not to talk. But they can also just be skilled at the game. They could just be a whole lot better, or the actual Sombra players are actually playing Sombra. The time spent needed to be set up is well utilized because they know what to do. They're not really wasting as much time because they recognize the value of that time being invested, because they know they're going to be able to hack someone. They know they're going to open the door to allow their team to just jump on a specific hero and win the fight. But those are my thoughts when it comes to Sombra. Again, in my opinion, she isn't really the worst hero. She's just not the most utilized hero when it comes to everybody utilizing her power. But Sombra mains, let me know what you think about Sombra. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.